Hello, and welcome to the Mastermind Book Club. In this session, we are not reviewing a book this week, but we are going to go into the life of one of our masterminds. But before I introduce him, I'd like to introduce you to some of our other mastermind members. First, I am CEO David Diaz, and to my right is Reggie Hilliard, and to his right is Martha Johnson, and then to our left, far left, is Tawana Williams. And then to my immediate left is Charles Chaz Culmer. Charles has had ups and downs, just like many of us do in life. And we have been pretty close to him that he's been able to offer some insights into what has been going on. And during the ups and downs that he's had, they weren't what he expected at the beginning. But I'm certain that as he starts to unveil what's going on in his life, you'll understand why we are interviewing him. Charles, Chaz, I'd like to, number one, welcome you again to our Mastermind Book Club because you took a few weeks off. And I do want to say is, have you experienced before you had your 6 week retreat any rough waters, any challenges, any moments that impacted you?
Yes, David. First, let me thank you and a panel for allowing me to be a part of this interview. I deeply care for each and every one of you. Yes, let's go back to 2/14, 2021. Right after the pandemic, I was working for a company here in the Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania called RCN. It's a cable company. I was doing marketing and customer service for them. And part of my job was to go and acquire new business for the company. On that day, which was a Sunday, Valentine's Day of all days, I went to this house looking for a person who had sent some information in that they were interested in acquiring service. I went through it was an apartment building. So I went inside first to find the door number two and couldn't find apartment two. Then went outside, and lo and behold, door number two was on the second floor, which had these steps leading up to that door to a second story landing. I proceed up to the steps, and before I could get to the top, about the third or fourth step up, boom! I dropped right through the step and ended up being hung in the steps with my legs dangling. And that led to the doctors wanting to put a plate in my neck and fused bones in my lower back. So I was really, really in bad shape. It affected my walking. Of course, it stopped me from working immediately, couldn't work anymore. And this was all during the pandemic. So uh, going to therapy, I exhausted all my therapy, and doctors kept pushing the operation. They kept pushing the need to put the plate in my neck. And I was just not for it. One of the reasons I wasn't for it because on the on during that procedure, during that operation, they could cut your vocal cords and you couldn't talk anymore. They could cut your airway and you wouldn't breathe anymore. Or they'll cut your spinal cord, and you would be a paraplegic for the rest of your life. Or you could just die on the table in an 8 hour surgery. It was an 8 hour surgery, they were telling me, be up to 8 hours for that procedure because the intricacies in the neck. And I was like, I had to say, Doc, no. He said, I can schedule it 2 weeks from today. How does that sound? And I was like, no, I need a second opinion. And that led to a journey where, like I said earlier, I couldn't work anymore. I had trouble walking at times, would just walk and fall down. My legs would give out. Um, Excruciating pain all the time. Couldn't wake up, like someone had their foot on my neck. And then my lower back wasn't that much better. So my level of pain was about anywhere from a 6 to a 9 every day.
Wow.
I would take the medication, stuff like it was the codeine, and you would be knocked out for several days. So at one point I was living just to sleep and escape pain. And I'm very thankful. I thank God that throughout the whole process that my faith kept me, that I didn't really let anybody know what I was going through. I just went through it. And like I said, I'm just so thankful. My weight gain went crazy. When I think I gained like 65 pounds throughout the whole ordeal. And it was to a point where I couldn't get off the couch. And then, I've worked all my life. And at that time, I think I was 57. Uh, it just seemed like gloomy for me. It seemed like I didn't have a way of escape. And this went on until to this year, actually, when I sought help because I was stressed out to no end, and just sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I knew I had to do something, especially with the weight and the talk of diabetes and the high blood pressure and the family stress. I just had to make a drastic decision to find some type of relief. So I had always researched that once I turned 60 years old, that I would seek some type of reset, a health reset. And so I had always been looking at places to go to reset my health and to do scans and to do different type of treatment. And lo and behold, this year in April, I found a place called New Leaf, and it was in Koh Samui, Thailand. And I just got everything I could get together, the monies that I was in need of, and I borrowed the money. I borrowed the money and went to Thailand. I was a credit card came in the mail, and that was my exit. And thank God, because I really felt like I was about to leave, to be carried by six, because it was just that bad. So once I got to Thailand, I stayed there for uh, almost 2 months, and the treatment was pretty much vegetable juices and soup. And uh, you had therapy, you had people to talk with you, you had people to walk with you, uh, had water aerobics, we had sauna. You just had a variety of different things, meditation, yoga. All this was something that helped me to bring about a change. So while I was there for the 30 days at that program, I lost 30 pounds. And before I left Thailand, I had lost about 35 pounds. So all in all, when I got back to the States, I had lost about 46 pounds, and here I am, feeling a lot better. My pain is pretty much gone away. Uh, Sometimes if I really exert myself, it's about a 2 or 3, but nothing like it was before. I'm even thinking about going back for more treatment to actually get to the point where I want to be and to finish my journey. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me.
Reg, Tawana, Marth.
No, actually, I was just gonna say, like I said earlier, I can notice the difference, Charles, in your face. It's slimmer.
Thank you.
I didn't want to say that because, I didn't want to be disrespectful or anything.
No, no, not at
But
all. Not at
I
all.
noticed the difference a lot. I do. It's looking really good.
Thank you.
And the shine. He got a shine to his face.
Skin, yeah.
When you get rid of some of those toxins and things like that, it brings out the glow. I'll ask this question. What was your mindset going into the treatment versus coming out of it?
My mindset going in was that I had to go and do this for me. Uh, I really felt ashamed a little bit leaving everything, my family, any type of responsibilities I may had, but I had to do it. It it was something that was desperately needed to be done. My mindset coming back is like, wow, I feel so much better. Um, just changing my diet. I don't eat the junk anymore. Oh, just to get off of sugar. The sugar was something that I couldn't kick on my own before, but now, it's not cakes and pies and all types of sweet. I'm very aware of sweets and I really try to eat clean. So that's my mindset right now. And the walking, oh, I walk so much better. I couldn't do walk up the hill, pick up my car, but now I take that hill on every day with joy. That one and other hills. So I've even sent Reggie a couple of pictures of the hill, my challenging hill.
Can be beautiful. I had to say I'm very sorry for all you went through and for all the pain you went through. I made sure I fixed your job, I fixed your family, I fixed your lifestyle, and congratulate you for the decision to take it to get better. And you know you had to do something, and you are responsible for yourself, and take the best version of yourself. And I'm very proud. And really, I be know you for maybe 2 3 years, and you look amazing. And your skin looks healthy. And I would like to know more about this place. It is too expensive. How did you get in touch with these people? You had to make an appointment. Is like a natural space, a natural um, center. I know in Thailand, yeah, they use a lot of vegetables, lemongrass, gingers, and lime leaf, and they cook very healthy. And they don't use a lot of grease. A lot of the food is more natural, and they have a lot of vegetables over there. And the people, they are very patient. They're very kind, and I make sure you feel welcome into the center or the place you went. And I make sure your family support you for this decision because it was the best for you. And when you have a time or somebody has another question, I would like to know more about this Thailand Nellis, and what is the location, what part of Thailand, yeah. And Thailand is like a magic place. It's like it's beautiful. It's like you be in heaven because the water, the mountains, it's a perfect place for meditation, for healthy and for relax, and change your mindset and be a better person for you. And make sure you change your lifestyle after that. And congratulations.
Wow, Martha, everything you said is true. The food, they don't cook with much oil. If it is, it's probably some coconut oil or olive oil, if that. The food was very, very clean. I think I was talking earlier about the fresh fish right out of the ocean after the program that I was enjoying. It was in Koh Samui, Thailand, which is an island just about an hour, say an hour and a half south of Bangkok, Koh Samui. A beautiful island, like you said, with the mountains and the people were beautiful people. Um, Part of the program was that I got to meditate, I got a massage every day, uh, steam room, sauna. I had all the amenities. Like I said, I was blessed to get a credit card in the mail, and it came right at the nick of time. I was able to pay my family bills up for a moment, you know, the rent, tuition, and I still had enough to go to Thailand. So the package that I had for 30 days was about $5,500. My air flight was about another, say, round trip, $2,000, 2,200, and that was the cost. So under eight, around about $8,000, I went and I stayed for actually a month, a little bit over a month and a half. Because after I finished the program, I did a week there, uh, not in the program, but just being around the program, so I could walk the paths. Like I can continue on the journey. So I already knew what to do as far as the food and everything to continue what they were doing. So I stayed pretty much right next door to the program, which is called New Leaf. And how I found it was I I was looking to go to Thailand for Men, which was a place in the in Patong, which is another main island. Uh, but they didn't have space for me. I would have missed my daughter's graduation. So the whole thing was kind of like surrounding her eighth grade graduation. I didn't want to miss it. And the place, New Leaf, I spoke to the owner, KP, and his wife's name is Air, Air, Air. And they were very nice people. KP gave me a visual tour and told me what to expect. He told me he could help me. He said that just get the plane ticket, you know, he'll work everything else out for me. And they did. They were great people. They did exactly what they said they would do for me. And I'm so appreciative to them because a couple places told me with my injuries that they wouldn't want me to come because I was a liability to them. So for them not to, you know, look at my injuries and to let me come, I'm eternally grateful to them.
So, Chaz, you said that if you had to do this all over, you're ready to do it, right? And you also said that this all started in 2021, Valentine's Day. Is that right?
Yes, yeah, I had to work. It's my Scrooge of a manager. I hope you're
And
listening, Steve. No, let me stop. I'm joking. No, Steve. Steve,
and then
Steve was just doing his job.
4 years later, I mean, it's pretty much, I mean, it's not exact, but it's it's also after Valentine's when you sort of had an inconvenience and pointed you to this direction, no? Or or was
Yes.
it planned from that 2021? How what was it?
No, no, it wasn't planned. From 2021, I was going to treatment. I was under the doctor's care, just different doctors, different, MRIs, different injections, different, uh, manipulations and therapy, and none of it was working.
It
None of
says
it, I exhausted it. I actually exhausted it. And they said, well, you know, therapy's not working for you. We're just going to give you pills.
yeah,
And
some
I mean, like, I think I just took them off the table. I had I went from taking no medication to taking like 10 bottles of medication a day.
there's no perfect doctor, no perfect solution. Some doctors maintain, some doctors focus on healing. I don't know which is which, but you know, we can tell from your experience, it seems you got the one that wanted maintaining, or I don't know if they wanted it, but that's what they offered. Um, you know, and compared to what you just went through in this new life, right? New life?
Yeah, yeah. New Leaf,
New leaf, new leaf.
New Leaf.
So,
Yes.
if there's one thing that you can take away from this experience, what would that be that you'd be willing to share with our listeners and with us?
Oh. Well, I've always had the ACE program in the back of my mind.
AIDS,
ACE, ACE.
ACE.
Yes, the A is for action. In order to do some things, you have to take action. The other A I'm gonna throw out there is attitude. You have to have the proper attitude. Action to be able to do something when to actually get it done, and attitude to say no matter what, I'm gonna I'm gonna finish it. The C would be for consistency, and another C I would throw out there would be courage. You have to be consistent in whatever you do, and you have to have the courage to want to see it through. You have to have the determination. The E would be for effort. You have to apply, just like action. Action is moving, but the effort is you're really trying. You're really in there dealing with things no matter what is going on. You're applying effort. And then another E I'm gonna throw out there is endurance. You like through it all, I knew I was going to be okay. I just had the faith that I'm going to walk, I'm going to play ball again, you know, I'm going to run, I'm going to do all of these things again. So that the other E would be expectation. I have expectations that God is going to bless me beyond measures, because, I deserve it. And guess what? You deserve it too.
So, Charles, thank you for sharing that. And just a reminder, before you went into the program, you had told me, Dave, I want to run just like you, but first I have to lose the weight. And it
Yes,
seems you're still
I'm in the
focused
process.
on that in the process. And I mean, you are aware that both Reggie and I offer these types of solutions without those hefty costs, but you chose to get away because of your situation. You needed to get away. I mean, there's
Yeah, the walls were coming in on
no
me.
other
Like
way.
I,
You
like
you needed
like I
because
told you, I felt like if
so
I
wait,
didn't
before
leave
you
when
go
I
into
left,
it,
they would be carrying me by six.
I just wanted to before you go into that, just wanted to go over this. I mean, in 2021, you went through something that none of us really want to go through, and especially with trying to get metal plates in your neck and any part of the body. But then, you went through some rougher waters, which you were not really expecting. And, sometimes we don't see the full picture and we focus on the negative things that are happening. And I know, or I could be wrong, but I believe that you can correct me on that you recently had some inconvenience that pretty much pointed you've got to get this going right now because you don't have any other options. I mean, am I
Exactly.
wrong, or let me
You
know
you
what
you
your
you you
thoughts are
you
on that.
you're spot on, David. It wasn't getting any better for me. I needed to uh find a place, a solution, or to try make an attempt at something. Um, Personal trainers and therapists and all that wasn't really working for me. I had to really like put a full stop on and hit a reboot. And that's something I'm gonna say. In life, sometimes you have to stop what you're doing and hit the reboot button, the reset button. Everybody sometimes needs just a reset. No matter what you're going through, sometimes you just need to stop, say a prayer, and reboot. And that's what I did. And thank God it really paid off for me.
Very good, very good. Anyone, Tawana,
Another,
Reggie, Martha, have a question?
I have another question. So, Charles, this was something that you recommended for yourself, or this was something that your doctor recommended for you, like to go
Oh,
away?
oh no, the doctors, they recommended pills. They recommended medicine,
Okay.
more injections, surgery. They're medical doctors. That's what they're going to recommend. That's their specialty.
That's how they
I
get
I was
paid.
looking for natural remedies, natural relief, natural solutions. And like I said, the New Leaf in Koh Samui, Thailand was a place that offered this to me.
Mm. So you did the research to find that place.
I stumbled on it purely by accident. Let me tell you something. In America, To do the same thing in America with the price I quoted you would have been 4 times that for the time that I spent. So
Yeah,
you were looking
about
at you were looking
$10,000.
well over 25, $30,000 to do what I did just for that length of time. There's a place literally, I'm in Poconos, Pennsylvania. There's a place literally 30 minutes away from me that I could have probably did the same thing, but like I said, the cost was astronomical. And I would have eventually paid it if I hadn't found the place in Thailand. I would have, because that's how bad I needed a change.
Chaz,
And I was just praying for one.
Chaz, if you don't ask, you don't receive. I know a few places that do that here in the US, Mexico, but
Well,
the
I
chance,
looked in Mexico, Colombia, even Costa Rica, Spain. I was searching all over the
you
globe.
didn't ask us. I'm certain any one of us would have assisted you with any of
Well, I
those.
talked to Reg, so but
But
that's all good.
no,
I
but
think
this
I ended up where I needed to be.
what I want to say is that the chance to go to Thailand is priceless because very few of us will go there.
Yeah,
And just the experience that you had, I mean, I'm certain
and New Leaf is right on the ocean.
like none other,
Yeah.
you
I,
know,
I I walked out. I walked out of the front door of New Leaf, and I met the ocean. I
wow,
met the sunrise every morning.
fabulous, fabulous.
It was
Let
just
me ask
beautiful.
you, does being a veteran have anything to do with you being able to go out there to Thailand?
No, no, not at
Oh,
all. Not at
okay,
all.
okay. Just curious. I know that's a silly question, but I was
No,
just
no, it was a great question because there are some programs that help soldiers and people who served in the armed forces.
okay. Well, it did you a very good service. It was good. What you did for the 2 months, it was
Yes,
good for you because you could see the difference in you. It's like even like as you speak, you sound a lot more. You don't sound as even though you're saying stuff and it sounds a little sad. It's like as you're expressing it, you expressing it a little more vibrant than you used to. It doesn't sound like heavy words. It's like you just saying, what it is, what it was, and how great you felt, and that's what's up. I'm proud
it's
of
a
you.
weight lifted, Tawana. You
That's
just don't
good.
know how much better. And this is just the start because there's still a lot more that I want to do. I tell people, I want to be an armed robbery, a 211 in progress. That's where I'm trying to
Uh-oh.
get to. So,
Uh-oh.
still got a little ways to go to get there.
Nah, but as long as you stay on your path, that you started for what,
Oh,
2 months, it
yes,
shouldn't be that
yes.
difficult now because you've been doing it for such a while already.
And that's
With help.
that helped because when you can do something for more than 21 days, it becomes a habit. So every day I'm walking, every day I'm challenging myself, every day, eating healthy, eating nuts and staying away from candy and sugar and soda.
And let me ask you, when you said that when you was talking about the hill, you be walking up the hill or you be driving up the hill?
Oh no, the cars can't go up this hill. The cars slow down on this
So
hill
you
I'm talking
so
about.
you
So no,
walk up.
I walk that hill, and I have another one that's very steep that so it's building my core.
That's good though. Listen, every step is a good step, in
Yeah,
the right direction, especially if it's for a good cause and it's for your health. So, like you said, we don't need nobody, God forbid, anytime soon getting carried by 6 people. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? We don't need that right now.
No, we
Right
don't.
now, we in new beginnings and enlightenment and all that good stuff.
Amen.
Reaching new plateaus and so, you know. That's pretty good though. I'm proud of you though, Charles. That's really good because you can see it in your face, the difference. It's a very big difference. Not saying that your last face that I saw you was bad, but I do see the difference in the work that you put in.
Oh, thank you, Tawana. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. And I'm
Reggie,
gonna shut up now.
Reggie, anything to say? Ask.
Well, no, I'll just make a statement. What I hear, which is very important, and I preach to everyone, more than anything, is gratitude about everything, no matter what you go through. Because whatever you go through, you can grow through if you have gratitude. So everything should be thank you. You should, ideally, you should be saying thank you hundreds, if not more times a day. That's a
Exactly.
form of prayer. If you say thank you to everything, your life will explode. And that's how my life is exploding, just by saying thank you. So what I'm hearing from you, Charles, is the gratitude.
Yes, I'm
You
very
know.
thankful.
So being
Mhm.
thankful and continue to be thankful, not even when you're waiting for stuff to come to you, or if you're going through quote unquote bad times. There's no such thing as a bad time, because you can always learn from a situation if you stay open to receiving. So
Right.
nothing should really be considered bad per se, but ultimately, if you in every situation you're saying thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, you'll get what you're supposed to get out of it. So
Exactly.
what I love to hear from you, and what I would love to hear from everyone, is being grateful more, because gratitude will dictate your altitude. So
Beautiful.
Gotcha.
Um,
That's my outlook.
I say you are the captain of your soul, you're the master of your fate, and you're responsible
Yes,
for your actions. And
yes,
congratulations.
Mhm.
that's beautiful, Martha.
Indeed.
Thank you.
More questions? Anyone? Questions? Charles, what is your goal on weight loss?
Like I said, I'm looking to drop down. 220 would be good, but like I said, a 211 is in progress.
So how much more do you have to go?
Uh, Currently that's probably another 40 pounds.
Okay, so you're halfway there or so.
Yes.
Okay, and you're like 6 foot
Yep,
tall.
6 foot. 6 foot.
6 foot. So yeah. So when you're taller, you don't notice it as much, but as and the way down, I know you're gonna feel the more energy. Just like Tawana was describing, we can see a glow in your face. You look much younger. You were. I remember several weeks back, you were really, really going through some tough waters, and I mean, I'm not saying it's perfect now, but it seems like you have a better understanding. And like Reggie said, you're being grateful on your experience, with the ACE, your
Yes.
attitude and action and
Yeah,
commitment,
attitude, action, consistency, courage,
consistency, courage,
effort,
effort,
energy.
energy.
Yes.
So
And
it
expectation.
so when we go through these life-changing experiences, we don't know where it's gonna lead. We don't know where it's going to turn the page to, but you got to do some things that probably felt uncomfortable at the beginning when you went to this new life, I'm certain. And I'm speaking from my own experience, but I want to hear it from you. What were one or two of those uncomfortable things they had you do?
Move.
Sorry?
Move.
Move.
Yeah, move. I didn't.
He said move. I thought
When
he
you
said
when you
move.
when you're hurting and you're in agony, you don't think you can move. You don't think that you can do certain things. Like at the beginning, I could not walk with the trainers and the rest of the people on the six. So we started at 6 o'clock in the morning. The first walk is at 6:30. And I would
Mm.
go on a walk and walk partial and have to turn around. One of the trainers would have to bring me back because I couldn't at first do the
Wow.
walks.
Wow.
I
Mm.
could only go a portion of the way, but I kept the endurance up, and slowly but surely, I learned to finish the walk. And since I was from Philadelphia, when I conquered the walk and made it to the end, I played the Rocky song. So they, dun 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 dun. Dun.
Yeah,
So
that's what's up.
so everybody would be like, they were like really celebrating with me. And when I told them the story of how I needed the surgery and the fusion of my back, everybody was cheering for me. and that
Wow.
felt really good.
Beautiful.
But at first, I couldn't move. I couldn't do it. I felt kind of like hopeless. But I got into the program, uh, walked with the trainers, uh, followed the program, and slowly but surely, things started to change. Because I didn't see it at first. I really
That's
didn't see it at
strange.
first. I didn't see any people would say, "Oh, you're changing," and people were telling me my fourth day in, "Oh, we see the change. We see the change."
Fabulous.
But I didn't see anything.
You weren't believing it.
I felt the same. I looked the same. But now, as you were talking, I had to put extra notches in my belt,
Ah,
Mhm.
that's good.
and my pants fall off. So
You're ready to buy
I'm
lots
really
of new
happy.
clothes.
Huh?
Lots of new clothes.
Lots of new clothes coming.
Oh
Yes.
boy. But so didn't you have colonics
Yes, they gave you colonics, they gave
and you
you
felt comfortable?
colimas. No, not at first.
So that's and
Matter of fact, it's a real bad story. I'm not gonna tell it, but when I first did it, I really made a mess. I
that
was I wanted to pay the people because I messed up the place.
oh boy. Oh boy. Well, I mean, first time, even for me, I've done it many times. I've had my inconvenience, but you know, the reality is when you focus, you get much more energy return, and that's immense. And the cleanse is it's just part of the process.
Oh yes,
Part of the
yes,
process. I
definitely.
don't know how many they had you do daily or what, but
Because of my hernia, I couldn't do the other type of the colonic. I couldn't do that one because of the hernia that I have, but I
really,
did do the
I had
colimas.
two hernias and I used to do them, so I don't know what they're referring to.
What it with the force of the machine, it could
Oh,
bust your
you
mesh.
did an actual machine. I didn't do an actual machine. I
Yeah,
did natural.
yeah,
I don't know machines for me.
yeah,
So,
yeah. So they did the coffee version.
yep.
So I had coffee daily.
Yeah, but
So how does that make you guys feel after a
fabulous.
colonic?
Oh yeah,
I mean, do you feel like
you
20 pounds
feel
lighter? I mean,
No, no, no. That's not
you
the way
feel
it works.
empty. You feel empty.
So you can there's I mean for example, I'm giving you an example. This is um when it first was found, it
Mhm.
it was in 1867 and it was treated on a child who had taken poison, and supposedly the child recovered, but then they went back and had more poison and then
Oh
they
no.
died. So that was the first time they did it. Then in the late 1800s, like 1890s, they gave it to the military men who were addicted to drugs because they had them on drugs because it was easier to go to war on drugs. And then once they wanted
Heroin.
them off the drugs, they gave them the coffee enemas, not colonics. That didn't exist because that's like Charles said, it's a machine. So, but I ask Charles because there are certain things it gets rid of, and most people aren't aware, like headaches, menstrual cramps for women. You have more energy. Your liver becomes detox, but
And parasites.
the reality is one for most people is okay, but you really need two, one in the morning and one later in the day, because sometimes it shoots all the toxins to your blood, and the only way to get rid of it is to do it again.
Right, to
And
talk flash.
so it's best if you're super worried about it, to just do it twice so that doesn't happen. But you don't have to do it all the time. It's just at the beginning when you're not super healthy, or you need to lose weight, or you're on drugs, for example, or heavy headaches. It's best to do it twice. So I don't know
Is that
what Reggie's
anything like,
experience is with that, but that's what mine was. Yeah.
is it anything like a colonoscopy? Because I know what that's like,
No,
but
it's much easier. You don't need to go to sleep. No, much
okay.
easier. It's just putting
Okay.
It's just putting coffee up, the opposite side of your body, and
Up your rectum, right?
up up the rectum, and
Um,
holding it there for about 20 minutes. Is that what they told you, Charles?
Yes, sir.
All
That
of
was
that,
it. You
all
on
of that,
point.
all of that came from what is known as the Gerson therapy. No matter who it is out there that
Mhm.
promotes colonics or coffee enemas, that came from the Gerson therapy. They started in the 1900s, and they're the only ones that presented to Congress the solutions, but Congress didn't want it in the U.S. So that's why I'm really thrilled that you did this, because I don't know if they mentioned Charles Gerson, but he's the one that did all of this, and some people do, some people don't, and that's the way it works. Instead of giving credit where credit's due, they just don't give the credit. But the bottom line for you, Charles, on my end, my last question, if you guys want to ask any other question, is, Charles, if you had to recommend this to anyone, why would you recommend it?
That's a good question, because everything is not for everybody. What works for me may not work for someone else. They might, like I said, they might not have the ace behind uh, their purpose. They might not have the attitude or the consistency or the energy or want to put forth the effort into this type of solution. However, I would recommend that you try something, that you look for solutions that are beyond the regular, I guess, medical solutions that the doctors and everyone else seem to cater to. There are other options out there, and New Leaf, yes, I recommend them. Uh, uh, Thailand for Men, I recommend them. Oasis of Health, I would recommend them. Any place that you can go that will offer you a transformation, I would strongly recommend it. I mean, like you said, David and Reggie, you guys are experienced in that area, and maybe you guys want to put your contact information out there. Like I said, transformation. You don't have to go to Thailand for transformation. It was just a place that I needed, and I'm very thankful that I was able to find it at the time that I needed it, and it's still available to me.
Great, 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 great. Reggie, any last words, questions, comments?
I would ask, um, I mean, obviously, you've gotten a lot from this. If there was one thing that you could have gotten more from this, what would that have been? Or recommendations as to like maybe how they could have improved it for you?
I guess I shouldn't have waited as long. And sometimes you're in denial by telling yourself that everything is okay, you're doing all right. Sometimes you just need to take the first step, like in my ACE program, which is action. You just have to find a solution and just take action, and then apply drop to the E, apply effort, and be enthusiastic, and put the energy forth, and be consistent, and do it and endure. Many times doing the thing, especially with the walks, I was like, I'm not walking no more, but I had to do it. I
Look
walk
at the
every day. I
results.
got to do it. I have to endure. I have to see it to the end.
Wow.
Look at the results.
Yes, they're coming. They're coming.
Now they're
And,
here.
and
We can
thank you,
all
sweetheart.
see what it's done for you. But I
Thank
guess
you.
we have a goal to reach. So
Yes, I do.
yeah.
And I'm
But
not letting anyone stop me or deter me. So
so
that's
you
another thing
shouldn't.
that you build. You build your confidence. That's another C word. You build your confidence as you go on.
Very good. Tawan, I know you just spoke, but just in case, do you have any last question for Charles before we go? or
No,
comments?
I'm good. No, I'm good. Thank
I mean,
you.
you said plenty just now, but just in case.
No, just that, I mean, obviously the program, it definitely works if you put the effort forth, like Charles is saying,
Yeah,
because
the
we can
program
all
work
see
if
the
you
difference,
work.
right? When you put the effort forth. That's totally understandable.
thank you. Thank you.
I have a question.
Martha Johnson?
Yeah, this place, I'm sorry, this place, do you see a lot of people with chronic disease? It can be a place for healthy people too. They want to go for meditation, for relaxation, and things like that. What's your expectation? Is another people like you, or is what kind of people it was in the center? And you have to consider it's a little expensive, and not everybody can do it. But you was the lucky you can do it. And for me, the first things is love yourself. If you love yourself, you do the best for you.
Yes, yes. Well, Martha, first part of your question, I met people from all over the world, from Australia, New Zealand, Bora Bora, uh, you name it. I met people from from England. There were a lot of different people, a few people from the US, and everybody came for different reasons. Some people came for just a detox to rejuvenate themselves. Some people were chronically sick, and they were looking to make a change. A lot of people suffered from different ailments and diseases, and the detox helped them. It helped to get them off the medication, to reboot them, to give them a reset. People there for many reasons. Some people, as part of their vacation, they detox, and they do it once a year.
That's
So,
what
and then some people just came to get other treatments because if you look in the brochure of the New Leaf, they offer different types of treatments for different types of situations and ailments.
that's awesome. That's really amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
And you don't have to spend the money I spent. You could go for some people. I think the least amount of days you can go for is 3, and the most amount of days you can go for is 28, or actually 29. So in the shape that I was in, I went for the full month.
very good. Very good. So, Chaz, I want to thank you for taking the time here to get all these answers on our questions and our concerns on what you've been doing. And the reality is that it seems you're much better off. But some things will take a little longer to realize than others. And, we're all going through something. That's just part of life.
Yes.
The reality is that at certain points we carry this luggage unnecessarily until we figure that out. And until then it's necessary to carry it. But we know that you're doing better. I mean, Tawana hadn't seen you in a while, and I'm shocked that she noticed immediately, wow, you look
It's
amazing.
obvious. It's
And I didn't want to
obvious.
give it away necessarily, but the reality is, yes, you look amazing. And, for a young 61-ish,
It'll
you're,
be 61 this month.
and if you don't take care of your health, especially if you're overweight, the life tendencies are between 60 and 65. So you're doing the right steps to prolong that. And, you know, uh, the more that you get healthier, the longer of a lifespan you can possibly acquire. I mean, there's no perfect
Yes.
way to get it, but I mean, doing the steps is the right way. Now, I do know you mentioned New Life and you mentioned these other places in Thailand, but I also want to mention There's a place called Modern Manna in California. There's another place in California, Gerson.org. And
There's also True North in Arizona.
in True North in Arizona. There's many places. Gerson.org offers their offices in Tijuana, Mexico, not Tijuana Williams here, but Tijuana, Mexico. And and there's Dr. John Campbell, who also came out of the same group of Gerson, who used to work with them and then did his own thing. And there's other places as well in Texas. There's a Brzezinski, Dr. Brzezinski. If anyone needs a specific kind of treatment, he's the only one who has license for treating people with serious types of cancers. I don't know much more than that, but more than I've read, sorry, but there's many opportunities out there to heal yourself. You've just got to be aware that some places are legit and some places are not. Now, Reggie, Hilliard, and myself, CEO David Diaz, can do the same for much less, much more affordable than any of the numbers that you've mentioned there, most likely. And we're here to serve. So Charles Chaz Culmer, thank you for sharing. Thank you for being with us. Tawana Williams, Reggie Hilliard, Marth Johnson, and myself, CEO David Diaz. Thank you for another session of the Mastermind Book Club. And next week, we'll review another empowering book, short, sweet, and powerful. Take care until next week.
Okay, see